Now, one of the recurring questions that a lot of people ask is if I'm applying for a business account, whether that's a business credit card, a loan, or a line of credit, why do I have to provide my social security number? And a lot of people think that just because you have a business means that you don't have to personally guarantee or you don't have to be personally attached to it, right? Now, to get to the point where you don't have to put a social security number on a business credit application, you have to be at the corporate level. And to get at the corporate level, you need to be generating millions of dollars in revenue over multiple years. And so when a lot of people say, how come I got to put my social security number? Most of the times those are not people who have businesses that are generating seven figures. And I'm not talking just like $1 million or $2 million. Most corporate programs start around like 5 million. Some start at 2 million. My business generated seven figures and I'm still not at the corporate level. I'm still at the small business level. So know the difference between small business and corporate types of accounts. Most of what I talk about on this channel is going to be small business accounts, not corporate accounts. And when you go on a lot of these websites, they have it differentiated. So you have personal accounts where you, the individual, is applying. Then you have small business accounts, and then you have corporate accounts, okay? Corporate accounts are going to be for larger enterprises. You might have 100 employees, 200 employees, generating millions, tens of millions, hundreds, or even billions of dollars. So just understand the difference. When you're at that corporate level, when I mean corporate, I'm talking about McDonald's, ExxonMobil, Chick-fil-A, household names or just businesses that are generating millions of dollars. Yeah, those types of businesses are not going to have to put the social security number of the owner on a credit application. But to get to that level, again, there's prerequisites, right? You can graduate from a small business to a mid-sized, commercial enterprise or a large corporation. Yeah, you could definitely level up to that. But one of the ways to qualify is having audited financial statements, audited tax returns. Now, what I mean by that is when you have a third-party accounting company that goes into your books and they'll basically give a third-party evaluation of your financial health. And so when you have those audited financials and you're generating millions of dollars over several years, you have the tax returns, multiple years of tax returns, generating over millions of dollars. At that point, you may be able to qualify for the 100% corporate liability when it comes to business credit cards, business lines of credit, business loans. But for the majority of people who are watching my videos, you're going to fall into the small business bucket. Now, I've actually had 2, maybe even 3 clients who had businesses that were generating over 5 million. And at that point, they would qualify for corporate or commercial accounts. But again, you have to qualify. And to qualify, you need to have a well-established business where the business can actually stand on its own. And a lot of people think that just because you built some net 30 vendors that all of a sudden you qualify for no PG types of accounts, and that's just not how the game works. Like I said, even myself, who has generated over 7 figures in business, I'm still at the small business level. I'm not at the corporate level yet. I don't have a huge enterprise, right? So you can have a small business that generates, a couple million and still be at the small business level. And one of the other things too that I've noticed for people who always like ask these questions is usually people who, are thinking, okay, let me get no PG because I want to distance myself from liability when it comes to repaying these debts. And I never understood it, like, why would you go into business with this thought or idea that perhaps you may not be able to pay back your debts? You're going into a situation where you almost are kind of anticipating on fumbling the bag. And that's just something that me personally, I just don't understand. If anything I'm going into, I'm not going into it with the expectation that I'm going to fail, I'm going to fumble the bag, I'm not going to have to repay. Some people take out debt, intentionally, they don't plan on repaying the debt. And so that's just one thing I noticed with no PGs. Now, with fintech companies, cash flow based, 100% corporate liability, yes, you can get that. I do have, fintech accounts with 100,000 no PG, but a lot of that's based on cash flow, right? And then another thing about the no PG that doesn't really make sense with a lot of people. So, okay, say you do get no PG, it's not going to affect you personally if you default on a debt. But guess what? To even qualify for no PG under the business, you would have had to build up your business's profile, your business's revenue, your business's assets to the point where a lender is going to qualify you to get no PG. So, okay, you default on the debt, your personal credit, your personal assets aren't at stake. But guess what? Your business's assets and your business's, reputation is at stake. So it doesn't really make any sense. Like it's not like if you fail to repay the debt that's a good thing even for your business, because now your business is tarnished, your business owes money, and your business has negative marks. And so I never really understood that. But anyways, that's all I wanted to cover in today's video. Till next time, take it easy and we'll talk to you soon.